Thanks for tuning in to the Diaphragm Dynasty, where we talk everything R&B. I'm back with another behind the pen edition of my podcast, and behind the pen today, I will have none other than Jermaine Dupri, the So Def representative, the So Def CEO, the owner, so to speak. Probably the most unexpected contributor of R&B that I've probably ever seen. Just because I know Jermaine Dupri mostly from hip hop, because So Def was a hip hop label, but Jermaine Dupri has this unique gift to be able to contribute to R&B as well, whether it be production and as a songwriter. Now, I'm just going to discuss the songwriting part about it today because he has brung us some great hits and great artists as well. But just talking about the hits that he's written and the contributions to albums that he's put together in the R&B world is amazing. And he doesn't really get enough credit before it because he has a more R&B, well, a more hip hop look to him as well. And he's mostly known for the hip hop artists, whether it be the Brad, whether it be Lil Bow Wow, the Franchise Boys, Chris Cross back in the day, a lot of those hip hop artists that he helped mold, and even doing collaborations with Jay-Z and things like that. So he's mostly known for the hip hop world, but if you really pay attention to him, he's more rooted in the R&B world. And he made controversial a controversial statement maybe a year or so ago when he talked about R&B is facing a decline, so to speak, because a lot of these artists now do not have a church background or a church singing background. So most of these artists are just coming off the streets, don't have much religious influence to them. Which, to some degree, if you look at artists going back, he has an point to some degree. But there's still artists out there like that. You know, whether you think about a Tank and artists like I believe a Genuine and people like that, maybe Monica and things like that, artists that are still around that still have that church influence to them. But nevertheless, you know, he's given us countless hits and classic moments in the R&B genre. And we already talked about his production as well, but he helped give us, you know, just to give you a rundown of some of the songs that Jermaine Dupri has given us, whether it be Usher's Confession Part 1 and 2, Usher's Nice and Slow, Usher's My Way, Usher's You Got It Bad, Usher's You Make Me Wanna, Usher's Burn, and that's just off the Usher hits. Um, A Jagged Edge, Let's Get Married and Promise, Escape My Little Secret, Monica, Should Have Known Better, Mariah Carey's We Belong Together, which is probably my favorite song that he's written. Very classic song with an amazing songstress, with an amazing voice as well. Bow Wow's Puppy Love, Like You, Out of My System. He's given us a lot of hits, especially ones with Usher. Now, when I noticed Jermaine Dupri as a songwriter for R&B, or as a songwriter in general, it was the time of Usher's Confessions, because he wrote a lot of songs on this album, gave us a lot of great music on this album as well. So he had that unique ability to write, especially from a female's perspective and a male's perspective. So he's one of the best artists, well, songwriters to do actual both. And I know one day he'll go in the Songwriter Hall of Fame just because of his versatility and going bouncing back and forth with genres. He can probably write pop as well. But his writing ability is second to none, especially in that '90s, early 2000 era. But you know, if you wanted to hit, Jermaine Dupri is definitely one of the people you need to talk to. Um, and you know, the game now is going to a more faster pace, which I believe Jermaine Dupri can write in that same kind of rhythm. But I think he makes his better hits when it's a slower pace in that '90s tempo, early 2000 tempo. But a lot of R&B now is rooted in hip hop a little bit. I mean, a lot now. It's a lot influenced that way, which he has a point about the church influence and things like that, because a lot of music is fast paced, and the younger generations are sort of blamed for this because they don't really cater to slow music anymore. So when you listen to slow music, they get bored, they go to sleep. They don't have the patience for it, for a song like that. Most of their song is real fast and catchy. They are a big fan of these 2-minute songs now that they don't have the attention span for. That's why shorts are doing way better than regular videos now, because people rather watch something in a minute or less and then catch the totality of an argument or a situation. So a lot of things and just the world in general are taken out of context because you're only seeing a short and you don't see everything in a full context. So is one of the disadvantages that Jermaine Dupri has a writer right now because just trying to figure out the times and adjust to the times of a faster pace and slow, and people want shorter songs. But we know a traditional R&B song would be 3 or 4 minutes. Now they want songs that are a minute and a half and things like that. But that's just not what the game was meant to be initially. But nevertheless, Jermaine Dupri is a great writer of music, and he given us great countless clip hits, and especially with that Confessions album and the song that he's written for other artists has been phenomenal. So, as always, until next time, I'll see you next time.